All right, and we're live. So yeah, let's kick this stream off, right? I'll introduce myself, and we'll introduce our guests, and we'll get everything started. So I'm Chris Gaines, co-founder of the Den, and we're here at Blockchain for All, Blockchain for Diversity conference out in Oakland. Got a bit of a late start to the day, but we've got a ton of exciting events, a ton of exciting speakers and panels coming up. And we also have a guest right here that I'd like to allow him to introduce himself, and we'll talk quickly about his project.
My name is Kevin L. Nichols, and I'm the founder, president, and CEO of the Social Engineering Project.
Awesome. So why don't you tell us more about the project, and then kind of what got you started into this idea?
Okay, well, I'll tell you specifically that it's an Oakland-based, Google and Microsoft-funded social impact venture with Stanford University designed to address the lack of diversity in the tech industry. What that really means in layman's terms is a buddy of mine from high school who happens to be a professor at Stanford basically teaches teachers how to teach science education to black and brown students. That's his PhD program. So I come along and basically work with him to organize programs for young black and brown students all throughout Northern California and hopefully get them interested in math and science and hopefully study STEM and go into a STEM-related career.
That's an amazing idea, and it's an amazing project.
Yes.
So what kind of impact do you think you guys have had so far? Do you have any numbers or anything like that?
Well, numbers, we have about 200 students each year in our program, and just trying to keep track of where they are and what they're doing is a pretty large task to do. But we basically have 4 programs right now. We have a middle school day camp at Stanford for 5th and 6th graders. We also provide transportation from students here in the East Bay to go to Stanford every day and back.
Awesome.
Then we have an overnight camping conference for high school students. We take about 120 kids to the Santa Cruz Mountains. And we have tech companies come up and teach them what they do for a living.
So that's almost like when I was in high school or a little younger, we did science camp, right?
Yep.
So this is the next generation of science camp.
It actually is, in the sense that I used to be involved in the National Society of Black Engineers. In high school, they had an overnight camp, and then I used to chair these same conferences in college. The only reason why I'm doing them now is because they don't have the bandwidth to no longer do high school camps like this. So I just decided that I would do them myself. And then we have what we call community science nights, where we go to a headquarters of a company and bring the tech that they work on, whether it's computer science based or whatever. And then we work with the parents on how to be supportive to the type of information that we're working on.
Awesome.
Last program we have is a global hackathon with the United Nations. So we try to stop cyber theft and human trafficking. So that's the tech that they're hacking. And we compete against countries all over the world.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So what is like a typical day of your programs look like? Like, what do the students experience?
So for example, our overnight camp, they basically learn hands-on networking. So we have a bus from Sacramento, a bus from San Jose area, and a bus from the East Bay. They're all taken up to the mountains. There's no Wi-Fi, so and their phones die.
They're already cut off.
There's a ritual that we have to put all of our devices to rest because the batteries will go out.
Yeah.
But after they mourn that, they learn about work-life balance. We take them on a hike. They learn about how to team build with one another. And Friday's more about setting the tone, getting them organized, getting them motivated to meet new kids, because the seniors are going to make contacts with each other. They'll have colleges that they can visit when they go to school next year. The juniors will have places, people that they can go to schools and have tours when they're going to apply. So it's about building that network.
Awesome.
Saturday, we have tech companies come up, like GoPro comes up and teaches our students how they test their products for water resistance and how they stabilize their drones for taking video. We have like CS type programs where Microsoft will come and talk about teaching project management using Post-it notes. So it's a tech conference in a low tech environment.
Yeah.
So like Walmart Labs will teach them what algorithms are by searching on their website theoretically, but showing them how to find a red dress on their website and what's happening on the back end. And then on Sunday, it's all focused on college. So we have basically UC Davis, Berkeley, and some other schools come up and talk about the application process, what college life is like, and with the goal of, there are a lot of programs out there that are focused on computer science, but there are not a lot of programs out there focused on the actual course, and we're exploring an after-school program.
It sounds like you were providing something that I wish I had access to back in high school when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, myself, I grew up in the Bay Area,
Okay.
which
What
is
high school did you go
Mission
to?
San Jose.
Okay.
So I was already kind of surrounded by what my future could really.
Program not only middle school, all the way through high school. All of our students get exposed to a workshop that I teach called the Personal Brand College. Essentially, basically empowers the students to learn how, etc., setting good expectations for themselves so that when people say their name, it actually resonates with people and it means something. And that way will take them, a lot further in life because they'll know what types of activities they're doing that's helping their name and what things that are diminishing it.
Yeah, and applying that very early on in the development of a person. I feel like, starting to get into the professional world, then people start thinking about personal brand and whatnot. But there are a ton of people, young people, who have already developed personal brands just by doing what they love and then putting it out on social media. So
Exactly.
showcasing the ability to do that to everyone can be extremely valuable.
And so what I show them is I show them a whole bunch of company logos, and then we go deeper into what the logos mean, and then I tell them how their Snapchat avatar, their Instagram avatar, that's their brand, that's their logo. And so the same concepts that they got when they saw these companies and they thought were separate from them is actually a reflection of them and how they have the power to dictate what people think and feel when they see their face online.
Absolutely.
So it's pretty exciting for them once they realize they can actually hone this and take it seriously.
Yeah. So what's the future looking like for your project?
Our goal really right now is to scale. We're going to pilot an after-school program, but then we're part of. Fortunately, Congresswoman Barbara Lee runs this organization. Well, not runs, but she heads the Tech 2020 conference for the Congressional Black Caucus, and a lot of the congressional black leaders are interested in STEM in their local areas. So our goal would